Right, so I've come out to a location to test a 10 scale car. I know you're probably thinking, well, it says wr8. Well, this is the Tamiya. That's the XV01. I'm not going to run it, I've just brought it with me as the size comparison. And this is the wr8, which you're probably thinking, no, that's only the body. Well, yeah, it's a wr8, and it's they're now the same size as the XV01, so it's under 200 wide just, and it's 257 long. I'll explain in another video how I've done it, but if you don't already know, somebody may have built one already, but I've not seen one. And it's crazy how it was almost made to be. So I'm just going to run it in this video.
Herbie as well, so.
Yeah, right, so I'm here at this location with Dave from the racetrack. What's this car, Dave?
This is the WL Toys 12th scale buggy with it's actually a Saxo body on it, and with the offset wheels it gives me just 200mm of track. It's got the same wheelbase as the new Tamiya MF-01X Escort, so it fits perfectly onto this body.
Yeah.
And the bumper and the side guards are actually from the LS Racing, which is what the WL Toys is a direct copy of, so they just bolt straight in.
Yeah, so that'll work out quite nice with maybe the new class we're thinking of doing, which is the Group B, if you like.
Yeah.
We're going to call it Group B because it's unlimited, other than the width and length. So as long as you're 200mm wide or under, or you're 257 or shorter in length, that's absolutely fine. So I'm going to run my wr8 monster Frankenstein thing, and we're going to go out and have a drive. And the other one you brought with you, what's that?
This is the HPI RS.
Oh, that's the RS4.
RS4, yeah.
Okay, lovely. Right, let's see what footage we can get. I'm only running it on 2S for the minute. I will do some clips in a minute with 3S. So I wish I had a thing to hold this camera. Right, let's try that again. I had 3 of one tyre and 1 of another. Right, so that's 2S. On a 19 tooth pinion. This is a wide open space. It seems very slow out here on this. Oh yeah, gravel. Definitely not used to this surface. You sort of set it up and it stays drifting. So I put the 19 tooth on it because a lot of people run 17 on obviously the wr8 when it's its normal size, but obviously I've got the smaller wheels, so I've gone up to a 19, which should be the same as a 17. But on this 2S it does seem a little bit slow. I've hit a tree and lost the wheel. Is there a post there? Right, so take 2. We've got the the wr10. I think you can see the interior light and the cockpit, so I've got the notes reading light, all my other lights on there, so everything's fitted. I've even got a bit worried about temperatures because I've got like a dirt cover I've put inside, which was a tight fit under this interior. It's just a homemade thing made from a bottle, but we're running, so it's take 2. Last time I hit a tree, broke the wheel and broke the steering rack, which when you look it up in the manual, the number for the rack comes with all the parts. The part they send you is a mirror image. It's the one that goes onto the servo and the steering this side. The bit that comes with all the rack, this bit this side looks identical, but it's a mirror image part, like it would go on this side with a servo this side, and that's what it tells me in my manual. And then if you order the ESC bracket, this one part comes with the ESC bracket and some other bits. Really odd, but that part number for this bit wasn't listed in my manual, so strangely enough. So anyways, it's going to be a 2S run on 19 tooth, I think. I've got a 17 tooth as well, and I have run it on 15, but that's stock with the bigger wheels. So now I'm on the 10th scale wheels. I thought most people run a 17 on the stock car. I've got no fan on the motor, and I've got all that gubbins in there covering it up, so it may get a bit warm, so I may not thrash it for too long. But yeah, 19 tooth, 10th scale, so wr8 turned into a wr10, and I'll explain at the end of the video how straightforward it was. I reckon I picked up the wrong battery. No, my throttle endpoint's still on 60%. You'd thought I'd have changed that by now, wouldn't you? That's better. I've done the diffs the same as the Armour Rally, so I've got 30, 50, 10 front to back. Might need some heavier stuff in the front. Right, at the end of the video, what I'll do is I'll show you sort of like how I've done it. I don't know whether anyone else has done this, but I'll show you how I done it. Oh my days. Jeez, that's like half throttle. Oh, I wish I put a new set of rally blocks on now. I don't know what the temps are going to be, so I'm going to try and keep it sensible. Yeah, there it is. Let's give it sort of a run down this straight here. Seems to be tracking a little bit to the left. Oh, lost track of which direction I was going in then. Oh. That's certainly working them rally blocks. I think that's like it just went on to a fail-safe sort of thing now. It may be overgeared then at that rate. Odd. Maybe the ESC don't like it then. Maybe it's not the battery. I did load it up a bit then, going backwards. I can't see it's that hot. Not that quick. No, it must be the load on that ESC. It's got a stock motor and ESC in it. And with the dirt cover, it makes it a nightmare to get in there and check any temps or whatever. I reckon it's too much for the ESC. That's the ESC cutting. But I've got 120 amp hobby wing that I might put through it. Oh, I've hit the curb. More cleaning to do. There it goes again. What a shame. Right, let's pop the cover and see what the temperature says. Maybe if I drop down onto some of this gravel though, it is getting in there and I think it's adding to the weight, so maybe look, I've got gravel all over myself where I tore past and it threw it all up. I'm not too happy about this. I was happy about the cover, but it is building up in there, all this sand and filth. It's clean inside though. Look at that, there's the back end of the motor. That's not hot, is it? Let me double check that. Oh, it's lukewarm. So, oh, actually, at the front it might be a bit warmer. No. So that is, it looks like it's overloading the ESC to me. I've got gravel all under my suspension arms, ain't I? Yeah, all in there. That's why it's probably tracking. There we go. There's that. horrible stuff. It's alright in the dry, this gravel. When I run the Tamiya here, what I've done, I think the belt come off the pulley at the back, and as it come off the tensioner pulley, it spanned the belt, and the belt then went onto the rear pulley inside out, so it had no teeth onto the pulley. So that's why I ended up with front wheel drive only. So it hadn't really had a mechanical, but it had. Right, let's switch that off. I can only think it's overloading the ESC because it's not too hot. And both of my batteries were charged. Quickly, you may not rev the hell out of it, you know. You may be gentler on the throttle in the corners, rather than just thinking, right, yeah, I'll just plant it. Been watching too many Ken Block videos, I think. Here. So basically I've brought these bits with me to show you. There's the wr8 chassis, which I bought a new one to jig it. So what you've got is, this will be where the radio box goes, right? Now so that sits on there like that, if you like. You've got your 4 bolt holes for your diff and the two locations there. Now if you was to buy this car and it had the other set of holes, you'd be laughing, because what have we got here? One of the radio box screws has been cut out because I've cut the chassis down. If you look there, make sure I'm showing you it. There's the front of the car, like that. And then I've obviously cut this out right behind the battery tray, right behind it, and on the other side it's quite close to the motor. And then I've just come in like that to allow for the shorter arms and wheels, and then I've come in again, which was very similar to the back anyway. As you can see, I just haven't got these bits. You have to cut into here. That's the original, but then of course it ends up there, which one of these holes, so if you had a different radio box so that this hole was in the exact same spot as them, then you don't, and you had a fourth hole, it would have been exactly right. They're the two brace holes with the location pin. Then you've got another 2 brace holes here. Well, they're 2 random holes. I don't know what you'd normally put in there, but there's no location pin. So all you've got to do is, when you chuck this on top and clamp it down, you can put the rear gearbox screws into here, and you put the brace screws in through here, and then you clamp it together and you drill all the other holes. These ones are drilled out with a tiny drill bit, loads of holes, and then filed them out to make new ones. There's the original front one there, see? So you'd have your 2 holes, so your back of your gearbox ends up here. And the thing that I thought was crazy was that if you get the RS, so what you've got is a wr8 with RS 4 arms, but you want the adjustable turnbuckles on there. So it's all wr8 bar the RS4 outside. The shocks are wr8, but you've got arms, hubs and turnbuckles. The wr8 roll bar's still on there, and the shocks. So it's as simple as that, but it was almost meant to be, because when you bolt it forward, the brace forward into these 2 holes, and you've done another location hole, the rear of the gear, the rear of the gearbox goes in these front holes, which shifts it all forwards. It lines up with these 2 holes instead, and it leaves you 6mm over the 257 wheelbase of like a Tamiya or a temp scale. So, but I had the RS4 arms on, and with the RS4 arms pushed right forward, you need a bit of plastic rod that I drilled a hole through, and the plastic rod's 9mm, so it's taking up a gap of 9mm to push these right forward. So your CVDs are straight, your shafts. On the rear, it's a 6mm one, and because I wanted the shaft straight on the back, I had the 6mm at the front. And with this, how can I put it simply, basically when you move the back of the gearbox into these holes and drill these other holes and move the front, the brace forward into here, you're 6mm too long. But if you take the 6mm packer out the front and put it in the back, suddenly you're exactly the right size for it to be a temp scale. And am I disappointed? I'm disappointed I've come all this way and the ESC's cutting off because it's getting overloaded, but I have put a 19 tooth pinion on it. The dirt is weighing it down. There's quite a lot of dirt on it. It's getting quite a bit of grip when it's going backwards at speed as well, so that's not what's, you know, it's obviously not going to help it. But I'll either change the ESC out or change the pinion, come down 2 teeth on the pinion probably, because when I brought it across there on a fresh run, I weren't even flat out and it was devastating. But yeah, so to do one of these, you need, well, the easiest way is to buy a new one of these, a new chassis. So once you've done this, you can always turn it back to a wr8. So get a wr8 second hand, get an RS4 second hand. The RS4 wants CVDs on the front and it wants the adjustable turnbuckles. I had to shave these hubs a little bit because there's more droop on the arms and it made the hubs bind as the hub kicked in. So you just shave a little bit off them, next to nothing. And then you just basically drill the holes by moving that down to there. And when I sit that on there, the new one on there, there's the holes there, see? And that creates it. But obviously that'll give you your jig for your location pin on there, your 2 square bits on the hinge pin holders, and your 2 location pins there, and your fresh hole there and there, and that's it. But I don't know, I just wish it had gone better. I wish I hadn't got overloaded on the ESC. I don't know what I've done wrong there. Maybe it's too high geared. It must be. This is it's quite a new car, so it's got to be gearing really. But that's it. I'm pleased with it because I know it'll be good. Once I've changed the gearing, it'll be good. But I was definitely loading it up. That's all I can think it was. Anyway, thanks for watching.